We're back to the Total Tutor Show, powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment, and I'm really excited for another celebrity. I tell you what, GJ, this is a lot of fun. The last two segments we've had have been great, but this guy has literally destroyed my favorite team back in the day, the Cleveland Cavaliers. So go ahead and introduce our guest for today.
Our next guest is, he's been very successful on the basketball court, and he's been very successful off the basketball court, which is a common theme for the athletes that we've had, where we hear the horror stories where a lot of athletes fail to make that transition. Well, he's definitely made that transition, and he's really focused about helping other people and elevating and transforming lives. And that's more important than what he did on the court. Although on the court, he's a two-time NBA champion. He's a three-time in a row consecutive winner of the three-point contest. And he was taking on the likes of the best, and he was shooting out the lights. And and then he's gone on and done some coaching. And so please welcome to our show, Craig Hodges.
Appreciate it. I want to thank God for an opportunity to come across the airwaves because I know it's a sacred opportunity. And for me, it's been a blessing to have had the success that I had basketball-wise. But now it's more important that we do whatever we can to stop violence, as we saw what went on in Newtown, Connecticut. Yes. And it's one of those things where I think now we should see that it's not about black, brown, red, yellow, or white. It's about what's right. And I think that's the thing that we've been working on. We have an organization called the Barrio Foundation out of Chicago, and we're working on bringing black and brown youth together to see that we can sit down at the table and we don't have to lash out at one another, and working with poor people, because I think if we can solve the problems and some of the issues of poor people, I think we can lift the nation up a lot better than if we just look at towards the middle class.
And you should be commended, Craig, especially with your successful NBA career, to go back and give back to the community, because I think it's so important. And like you said about Newtown, Connecticut, and what just happened, and the sadness, and what you're doing with the organization is fantastic in the way of exchanging books for different things. So kind of go a little bit more into the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation is called the Barrio Foundation. It was founded by a Hispanic brother out of Chicago by the name of Robert Renteria. Over the last couple of months, we've sat down and we built a game plan to be able to utilize the barrio as a vehicle for children to, put down the violence, the guns, and the corruption, as opposed to trying to pick up something that would help them, further their lives in a positive direction. And for me, I was born in 1960, so I'm a child of the Civil Rights Movement, and Dr. King was my hero. So for me, in studying what he taught us, his main message was that we have to fight against the evil triplets, which are racism, militarism, and economic exploitation. So for me, it's all about trying to change the condition of poor people and those who don't have, who have been disenfranchised from the society, basically.
And giving back, GJ, as Craig was talking about, so important. And I guess what the theme we see with all the athletes are going to come on, and also entertainers coming on to the segment, is that they truly know through their celebrity status they can help others and move others, right, G?
And that's good.
Go ahead, Craig.
Go ahead, Craig.
And that's one of the things that, it's a delicate balance of when you're playing and you're trying to do some powerful things as far as community and as far as society. It's a delicate balance to be able to have your career stay on the path that you want it to go on, and then at the same time spend your time doing what you know needs to be done for the future of the nation as well as the world. So now, and I think many times we think of when we're playing that's our true career, but in fact that's a talent that God blessed us with, and our careers don't really start until after we're done playing. And that's the mindset that I've taken, is that right now I'm working on the things that I know that during the time that I played in the league, I tried to do some social activism, but sometimes it's misconstrued as trying to step out of your realm as a basketball player and trying to be too politically focused. But I think that during that period of time while you're in a visible position of power and authority, I think you have to utilize that as best you can, because once that light is turned off, it's a little bit harder to get that same light on issues that you want to bring about.
And what were you saying, GJ, about, I know you have a question for Craig.
Well, Well, first of all, you touched on a couple of things, Craig. One is the delicate, being a player or being an activist, and I see that it can be a very fine line. The other component is that you recognize that you have a platform where a lot of athletes and celebrities sometimes tend to not use their platform.
Absolutely.
And then, and also as you said, while the light's bright, that's where you have the loudest voice and the biggest platform.
No question.
And so you recognize that, and I applaud you for doing that. The other thing is that sometimes the path of the pioneer has the most resistance, and so you've been a pioneer in many ways. So I applaud you for doing that as well. And
appreciate it.
And obviously, I feel in your spirit and what you're saying. I mean, your whole being is to be able to provide back and be able to help other people and to elevate other people for the good. And so I again applaud you. So, and my next question is, so what are some of the things that our listening audience is able to do to help you and what you're doing? Obviously, you're on the West Coast. You're also in Chicago.
Exactly.
And we got listeners all over the country and Canada. And even Europe.
And there you go. And one of the things that you can do, you can go to the barriofoundation.com, Robert Renteria, RENTERIA, and you can find a way to lend your support, whether you give a donation, whether you want to come out and support. And we have events starting after the first of the year. And likewise for people in California, I'm out here probably for the next couple of months. If you want basketball training as well as that type of thing, I'm at the MAP facility, MAP, in Garden Grove, California, and you can reach out for me there. And likewise, I have a website, HodgesOnHoops.com, that should be coming up in the next couple of days.
All right, well, Craig, let's talk about, you've been talking about the Barrio Foundation, but I think that the key component is you want to help children. And I think that that's one of your passion, because you see how people were able to help you get to your success, and you want to see them be as successful as you and be great members of society. And that's to help the poorest of the poor, and you have the ability to do that.
Absolutely. And I think that's the biggest part of it, man, is that as we get older, we see the importance of people who have impacted our lives in certain ways, and you can see through what you've done with your career, and likewise, people lend themselves and kind of sway towards your direction as far as for guidance and stuff. And I think that's one of the things that we have to be more cognizant of, is that when children are reaching out, to take the time to see what they're thinking about, and if you can have lend some support to them on levels of information and knowledge. And that's the thing that I want us to start to be a little bit more conscious of, is that as athletes and entertainers, we are actually a resource base for our communities, whether it be locally, nationally, or internationally. I think we have the ability to change the condition of a lot of people, and I think right now we see that direction happening with a lot of athletes and entertainers, but I think we need a galvanized mechanism and vehicle that we can all lend ourselves to, so that we're not missing anybody.
Definitely, absolutely. And I think that the key part of all this is, again, that you are there to do great things, and young people, and giving back and paying it forward. GJ, you always say, GJ is a great proponent, Craig. When you get to learn more about what GJ's done in his life and how he has mentors like Coach Dale Brown and John Wooden. He really is good friends with Dale Brown. He's learned, haven't you learned from Dale the importance of paying it forward?
Absolutely.
One of the things that I learned, and I was on a radio show earlier today, and I was actually being interviewed, and they asked me, some of the things I learned from Coach Dale Brown, and one of the things that I learned from him is that you can be above the people or you can be with the people.
There you go.
And when you're above the people, you may get results. However, at some point that will diminish. And being a former military sergeant, I recognize that. And then the other component is when you're with the people, you are able to have sustainability. And so obviously you're with the people, you're doing those things, and I'd love to find out how we can help, because I've been very good at being successful in business. I consider myself an athlete. However, my athletic ability doesn't compare to your probably fifth grade science ability. So anyway, I love basketball, and I still play, even at our age.
Right.
But what I've been good at, from a business standpoint, is being able to provide business to elevate other causes, and that's really my whole being now, is to find ways to help other people. So I'd love to find out ways we can help you, and I'm going to be out on the West Coast next month, so maybe we can connect.
Yeah, definitely have to sit down, man, because, see, that's the thing. I think that it's like the 6 degrees of separation. The more we start to see, the more we start to speak to one another, the more we start to let people realize where we're at and what we're doing, I think we'll find that there's more people out there with like minds than we think there are, and that I think through that we can build a network and a coalition that can change a lot of lives and move forward in a positive direction. So from that end, you guys have my information. I'm ready to work however we can. I appreciate what you guys are doing with your radio show, because I think that's one of the things that we have to see, is that the media has a lot of control in as far as the direction that people's lives are going. So when we look at a lot of the reality shows and a lot of stuff people are getting caught up into, they're looking for something for positive change and how to do that. And I think we have that vehicle with what you're doing and what we're trying to do with the Barrio Foundation. Is just a matter of time that we get these children to where they see that their lives are as important as anyone else's.
That was great. You spoke about the media. One thing that the Total Education Network and Beach Lifestyle is trying to promote when we're talking about charities and foundations is giving them a voice. A lot of times,
Absolutely.
Craig, they want to talk about your career. They don't want to talk about what you're doing now, which you're becoming,
Absolutely.
where you're becoming a hero because you're helping others. You know, what you did on the basketball floor, that's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You excited people. You made people cry, like me as a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. But the thing is, now what you're doing is giving back. And like you said before, God gave you this talent. Now you have to take that status of your career in basketball and now finally make a difference. It was very interesting. We had Olden Polynice on the show a couple weeks ago, and he ended up becoming an ambassador of Haiti. But he sees the importance again of, I guess, being active and after your career and changing people's lives.
That's it. And one of the things my grandfather told me, and loving, Lord rest his soul, he told me when I was probably 8 or 9 years old, we'd get up in the morning, cook breakfast for me before I go to school, and he told me, "Hey, boy, look at the newspaper." And I picked the newspaper up, and he said, "I want you to start at the beginning." And then when I was looking at the Sun-Times, and he's like, "What you see on the front page?" I say, stuff about what's going on in the world, politics. He's like, "Okay, let me know when you get to the sports page." And the sports page is on the back of the paper. He told me, he said, "Look at how big the sports page is compared to the rest of the paper, and you'll see how important sports is to the world. That it's important to the point that it can give you a way to relieve stress. It can give you a way of building a cooperative learning base, and it's fun. Don't get it twisted to think that sports is the end all." And I think that was one of the best lessons that he gave me, in as far as putting into perspective how important it is for you to realize what your real life is about and where sports fits. And don't ever get it twisted that the sport is more important than the life.
So true. I absolutely believe that. And in life, we know whatever our talent is, if we can take that to the greatest ability and to be able to then be successful and then help change people's lives that need that help. And GJ, the organization GJ's involved with, really helped out the community a couple days ago, correct, GJ? You can explain that a little bit to Craig, right?
Well, we just had on Saturday we had what we marketed as the world's largest giving day, where we could donate for as little as $24. You could donate, which would equal like 30 meals to kids, and you could specify certain organizations that were pre-approved.
Yeah,
and so I don't know what the total number is, but it was a lot. I know my wife and I, we donated over 2,500 meals, and there's a lot of people in need. So that's a whole other thing that I know that exists, where a lot of kids aren't getting fed.
There you go, man.
they're not getting the nutrition, and the next thing you know, they're off to doing bad stuff. And one of the things I've seen with my kids is that when they have good nutrition, they behave a lot better. They're more focused in school. Their grades are better. They do better in everything. And so obviously, I definitely feel in my spirit we can do a lot of great things. And,
yeah, brother, I'm with you.
Well,
I'm with you guys.
Well,
I appreciate coming on the show. So one of the things that we ask our guests is what's your 90-day challenge goal? So what do you expect to accomplish over the next 90 days?
For me, it's a couple. It's twofold. One is to build a coalition with athletes and entertainers. So right now, in the next 90 days, I'm trying to galvanize the support of at least 25 to 30 athletes. On the other side, from the sports end of it, I'm trying to reach out and touch at least 100 basketball players who are playing basketball right now to get their games to the next level, whether it be letting them know what the proper protocol is to become qualified for the NCAA clearinghouse so that you can be recruited as a player. What are your fundamental skills? Where you're lacking in that? So we have a video series. We have a video program that I'm working on with athletes where you send me a videotape. I'm able to analyze your videotape and talk to you about, your strengths and your weaknesses. So for me, it's, going after like-minded people over the next 90 days and see if I can get 30, 40 athletes and entertainers to be involved in what we're doing and trying to get the young folks to, wherever you need help in your game, holler at Hodge.
All right, Craig, where can we find information on you and learn more about you?
Like I said, you can contact Geraldine, who you guys spoke to before. She has all the information, as well as you can contact HodgeOnHoops.com, as well as the Barrio Foundation.
Well, Craig, thanks for being on the program. And to learn more information, Craig, on GJ, go to simplyg.com, and he could learn about his health and wellness company and all the cool things he does for entrepreneurship and also giving back and training.
Sounds good.
It's great to have two awesome people like you two in an interview. So thanks again for calling, Craig, and definitely we'll be in touch. Give us updates of what's going on. All right,
DJ, I had a question. DJ, was Tex Winter down at LSU when you were down there?
I don't know when he was. I don't know when he was down there, but I know him and Dale Brown are very dear friends.
Yeah,
and, I know Tex Winter was at Kansas State University when my dad went to K-State. So.
Oh, okay, and Tex was my college coach for 4 years at Long Beach State, man.
Well, you couldn't have a better. He's the mentor. They call Phil the Zen Master. He's the Zen Master of masters.
Exactly. All right, brothers, y'all take care, and I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a peaceful day.
All right, you take care, Craig. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Craig.
Okay,
Peace.
bye-bye. All right, GJ, what an unbelievable show. Craig Hodges was fantastic and really enjoyed the conversation, didn't you, G?
Most definitely. I mean, we had a great show again. Great guest. And there's several components there. One is they've been very successful in life, and they've used that strictly as a platform and realized that was just the beginning of the elevation to help and provide, helping other people transform their life and giving back. So, true testimonial, and I'm all excited about going giving, especially with the giving spirit of this time of year. I'm motivated to go give.
Yes, and go give some more prenatal vitamins to me. I just had to put that out as a joke. But but listen, one thing that I think that's key that our organization's teaming up to go on the radio, terrestrial radio, not just internet radio. We have a huge internet radio audience to be that platform that no one else gives. I'm telling you, GJ, I mean, research out there. No foundations interview athletes and celebrities who really can change people's lives, because when you hear them as a witness, people are more likely to move. Look at the whole hurricane and how the athletes and entertainers and everyone got involved in the concert. People were more likely to give. So that if we can provide that platform for these athletes and entertainers, I'm telling you, we can really make a difference.
Most definitely. And, as you said earlier in the show, this is a voice, and we're providing the voice, and we welcome other people to come on our show to provide that voice. So it's one person at a time and one step at a time, and we're doing our part. We ask that you do your part, who's listening, and look forward to talk to you all next week.
Oh, absolutely. A great show. I think that people, again, can find more information on you going to simplyg.com, and they can join the challenge at what website?
WeAreTheChallenge.com.
WeAreTheChallenge.com, and I guess if you join that challenge, you will see. And if you want to check out what's going on with G and I think it's time to put up video very, very soon. I was talking to my wife about adding some more to the workout because, again, I know I could take you out, but I'm putting that challenge out to Jerome Davis right on national radio, international radio. Are you chicken and do not want to accept my challenge after I take GJ out? And GJ says no, and I know that your son Marcus says that he's going to dunk on me too. So it's going to be a fun time in LA, and it's going to come very quickly. So everyone better train and say their prayers and eat their vitamins.
Well, definitely, and I know you're eating your prenatal vitamins, so keep it up, and I look forward to our friendly competition.
All right, well, just take care, and we'll talk next week. Even though it's the holidays, and Merry Christmas to everyone, we're going to be broadcasting the show again for another week. We're ahead in our broadcast, but everyone can go again and listen to the Beach Lifestyle Show at Blog Talk Radio, and then also they can find the Beach Lifestyle Show at simplyg.com and many other places all over the internet. So thanks again for calling, G, and we'll talk soon. Okay. Good day, everyone.